Oh, snap. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Everybody watching, hit the thumbs up button. Let's spread the word about these cases out. Mike Jeffries up first on TikTok. We're live on TikTok as well. You've seen his face. Oh, God, I hate when I do that. Pause. Man, I hate when I forget to mute the other damn tab so I can have the YouTube chat open. Anyways, TikTok, it's this crazy looking dude. YouTube, don't worry. You're going to see plenty of this crazy looking dude. And you're probably going to wish that you hadn't. This man is crazy as hell. I'm going to shrink myself down. Christina Randall is going to be talking to us tonight. I think both videos, actually. So make sure you go show her some love. She's pinned down in the description of the video on YouTube. Go subscribe to her. She got like 2 million subscribers, so you probably already are. But just in case, that's what it is. Let's shrink myself down. TikTok, hit that follow button. A whole bunch of new people coming in tonight. Take a second. Hit the follow button. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every night. Here we go.
So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the very popular brand Abercrombie. Now, if a lot of y'all
Abercrombie and bitch.
How dare you? Grew up in my time, which I was born in the 80s, so I grew up in the 90s. So if you are my age or older, I know you remember the hype around brands like Hollister and Abercrombie. Oh my gosh, it was all the craze. It was supposed to be like the most beautiful people worked for Abercrombie. And, you know,
who in here worked for Abercrombie? I never did, but who in here did? Somebody did. Put a thumbs up in the chat. Did you work for Abercrombie?
Along with Nickelodeon and a bunch of other things that we really thought highly of when we were younger, it's just like things have been coming out recently. Let's talk about Mike. Now, before we get into it, let me just tell y'all that everything in this video is alleged. I don't know any of these people. I pull all of my information from very public sources that are already out there. I'm going to tell y'all the story from the best of my ability with this information that is already out there. And then at the end, I will give y'all my opinion. So make sure you stay to the end if you want to hear my opinion. So, all right, Mike Jeffries is an American businessman who was the chairman and CEO of the very popular
She said chairman. Chairman.
retail clothing line Abercrombie and Fitch. And he was there from 1992 all the way up until 2014, just 10 years ago as of me making this video. Now, Mike was born in 1940.
That's crazy. 2014 was 10 years ago. That doesn't seem right.
43, and he grew up in Los Angeles, California. His father, Donald Jeffries, owned a chain of party supply stores. Mike attended Claremont Men's College and the London School of Economics before receiving an MBA from Columbia Business School back in 1968. In 1971, Mike married his now ex-wife, Susan Hansen. While they were together, they did have a son. Now, although Mike and his ex-wife split, he did end up getting with his new partner, and this partner's name is Matthew Smith. They reportedly have 3 dogs together. In 1968, Mike joined the management training program at Abraham and Straus, which was a department store in Brooklyn. It was later rebranded as the famously known Macy's in 1994. And then in 1984, Mike founded Alcott and Andrews, which was a brand targeted for career women. The store, however, ended up claiming bankruptcy in 1989 due to overexpansion, and then it would go on to close down. After that, Mike worked in merchandise at Paul Harris, which was a Midwest clothing chain that also went bankrupt in 1991. And then in 1992, Mike was hired by the CEO of L Brands, aka The Limited. When Mike was hired,
oh hell. Limited?
He was asked to invigorate the brand Abercrombie and Fitch, which was originally founded in 1892 and had been purchased.
It was like a fisherman's company or whatever. They did like fishing gear and fishing hats and stuff.
By Limited Brands.
By the way, TikTok, hit that follow button. A whole bunch of new people coming in right now. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every night. We're listening to Christina Randall talk about Mike Jeffries at the moment. Let's keep going.
1988, after it went bankrupt. Hollister is also owned by Abercrombie and Fitch. So Mike...
I didn't know that. I thought Hollister was like their mortal enemy.
Mike became the main architect of the new brand.
That was like Verizon and AT&T. But Hollister's owned by them? I guess that makes sense.
And it was rebuilt as this like upscale clothing retailer for people of like college ages. Mike admittedly built the brand around
upscale college age. What?
Marketing, which included using shirtless, muscular male models as greeters to the stores. Do y'all remember these guys at some of the malls, like where they would be like out there standing out in front of the stores with their jeans on, with no shirts on, literally looking like they were chiseled out of clay and made to look like that? I mean, back in the day,
clay is soft. I love Christina Randall. She's so funny, but doesn't even mean to be. Christina Randall, you need to do like a stand-up tour. This is crazy. They go chiseled out of clay. Clay is soft. Chiseled out of stone, but chiseled out of clay. Man, she's funny. I love it. All right, let's keep going.
Everybody wanted to be able to afford. I could never afford, you know what I mean? But afford to wear these clothes. And then you had to be able to fit into them, because I don't know if you know, but their sizes back then, yeah. Now, these male models were also used in the majority of the brand's marketing, including like large advertisements and their billboards that they had for their company. And like I said, I'm sure y'all remember that Abercrombie & Fitch became extremely popular.
No, not those belts. You remember those belts, y'all? It's like that, like, what is that material called? Not canvas, but what is it called? Like, it's all like intertwined together and everything with some big old hoops on it.
Especially for young buyers. In the early 2000s, as the brand's popularity just kept increasing and kept increasing, Mike was very outspoken in the press and made some what people would consider controversial statements. Some say that this was the beginning of Mike's demise. Mike once said to the press, "We hire good-looking people in our stores because good-looking people attract other good-looking people, and we want to market to cool, good-looking people." Now, this is not the only statement like this that Mike gave either. And mind you, what a mind twist kind of, because when you're wearing these types of clothing, you feel like you're in this cool crowd, right? You're in the Abercrombie & Fitch crowd, like, oh my gosh. I mean, the marketing worked. Now, given this, Abercrombie & Fitch attracted controversy from different interest groups like the feminist movement and the American Decency Association. And with that came a number of lawsuits. Back in 2003, Black, Latino, and Asian American employees filed a class action lawsuit against the company that claimed that minority applicants were discouraged from applying. But even with all of that controversy, Mike was doing very well financially as the CEO. I mean, in 2004, Mike reportedly earned $25 million. And mind you, $25 million is an incomprehensible amount of dollars to most of us, right? But back in 2004, it probably was like $150 million or something. I'm just throwing a number out there. Like back in the early 2000s, $25 million for a yearly salary is an insane amount of money. In 2008, he reportedly received a compensation package of $71 million. Now, keeping in mind that this was during the financial crisis of 2007 to 2008, and he received $71 million compensation package. We're going to get to all of my opinions. Y'all just keep following me here, okay? Because at the time, Mike allegedly publicly refused.
Yeah, what do you think he was getting compensated for?
To lower or offer any discounts at Abercrombie & Fitch, at least until the store's sales had gone down for 17 consecutive months. Now, sales did recover by 2011, though, and Mike's compensation that year was estimated at just over $46 million, with most of that being from the form of stock options. But Mike's reputation took a huge hit in 2013 when he was named the worst CEO of 2013. Comments about looks and body and weight from 2006 had come to light that Mike ended up giving a public apology for it. And then Abercrombie & Fitch's stock share prices dropped 40% that year. On December 9th of 2014, Mike ended up stepping down as CEO after receiving criticism of the company's performance, with 11 consecutive quarters of poor sales. On top of his standard pension, Mike received lifetime bonus payments totaling about $1 million a year. Can you imagine lifetime bonus payments? But that lifetime bonus pay would not last forever, because in 2020,
because it wasn't really life. They didn't mean it was for life.
Mike was the subject of a Netflix documentary that focused on Mike's transformation of Abercrombie and Fitch and the lead up to the 2003 class action lawsuit. And it wasn't exactly a flattering documentary for Mike. But then several bombshell allegations started to come out last year in 2023. In 2023, the BBC completed a 2-year investigation into several allegations that Mike and people close to him exploited young adult men.
Oh, so you gonna burn in hell for that? Man. By the way, y'all hit me with those bears. Let's crush that goal real quick. That's crazy.
For the events allegedly occurred in Mike's New York residences and at luxury hotels all around the world. In October, a few weeks after the BBC report,
they were exploiting them at the locations. Oh, you want to work here? You're gonna have to not wear a shirt and stand in the front of the store. Oh, damn. Okay, like that's not. Come on, great waves. Thank you. On to wealthy. That's what it is. Thank you.
Came out, Mike and others were sued in New York by a former model under a civil class action complaint of trafficking. This former model alleged
you gonna burn in hell for
that Mike and his partner Matthew Smith would look for prospective men on the internet, provide them with money, substances, and promises of recruitment, and then would sexually exploit them with the understanding that their cooperation was the price for the job. According to the suit, these things happened between at least 1992 to 2014. It also alleges that over 100 young male models were possibly victimized. Now, just to throw this
dear God
in here while you're thinking about this, this is just one brand we're talking about. We know about the Diddy situation. We know about the Jeffries Epstein, okay? We know about the whole Nickelodeon situation. It almost makes you feel like a lot of these big corporations,
like nothing that we know is real.
How dare you?
Makes you feel like we live in a simulation and everything is crazy as hell. I know what you know, Christina Randall, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. Let's continue.
Use this power and this influence in order to do these things to people. It's almost like it's a big, giant, nasty industry or something. I don't know. Anyways, through his lawyers, Mike said that he would give no comment to the press about this lawsuit that was filed. But last year, Abercrombie did say that they hired an outside law firm to conduct an independent investigation after this BBC report came out, which I find it hard to believe that they had no idea about anything, but who am I, okay? Now, as if this was not bad enough, it has gotten worse. On October 22nd of this year, 2024, 80-year-old Mike, his 61-year-old partner Matthew, and a 71-year-old man named James Jacobson were indicted in the United States District Court on charges of sex trafficking and interstate prostitution. Now, according to this investigation, James Jacobson was employed by Mike and Matthew to recruit, interview, and hire men to perform for Mike and his partner Matthew. Now, just to throw this out there for a little tidbit of information, this James is actually missing a part of his nose, and he uses snakeskin to cover it. The unsealed indictment alleges...
What the
How dare you?
hell did I just hear? Did anybody else hear that? Hold on.
James is actually missing a part of his nose, and he uses snakeskin to cover it. The unsealed...
Man, you are crazy as hell. Snake skin? It looks crazy as hell. Dude's literally got like a gold nose. Oh my god. It's like he picked like the worst Bond villain ever. Hello, I'm Snake Nose. No, you're an idiot. Oh my god.
Indictment alleges that between December
Wow.
of 2008 and March of 2015, Mike, Matthew, and James used a combination of force, fraud, and coercion to traffic men.
And Snake, don't forget about the Snake Isle.
While operating a prostitution enterprise. Again, just to throw this
man, you crazy
out there, if we have not realized, especially mothers and fathers out there that have little ones, teenagers, whatever, if we have not realized that our boys are easily to fall victim to predators as well, let this be another warning call. Everything is focused on our little girls, which we should protect, honey. Don't even get me started. But it's almost like for so many years we were looking in one direction while the fox was sneaking and, into the other direction, if you know what I mean. Now, I will say that the charges in this indictment are just allegations and the defendants are presumed innocent until they are proven guilty. Now, this indictment alleges that the three men, Mike, Matthew, and James, used this coercive, I'm struggling with that word, y'all, and fraudulent and deceptive tactics in connection with their trafficking venture. Now, I'm going to include a clip of the press conference so y'all can hear some of the stuff that the guys were accused of.
Oh, God. By the way, TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Keep tapping the screen like crazy. Y'all hit me with these bears. We got to crush these goals or TikTok just gets mad as hell at this channel. Literally, I posted a video about Laken Riley and how she fought for her life for 18 minutes, right? True crime channel talking about Laken Riley. It doesn't even have 1,000 views right now. TikTok overlords, get your shit together. That is crazy as hell. So y'all hit me with some goals. So TikTok is like, oh, we should like show this channel again. They are crazy as hell for that one. Tara, thank you so much. Almost there, y'all. Come on.
We're here today to announce the arrest and charging of 3 defendants.
Oh, hell.
Former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Michael Jeffries, Matthew Smith, and James Jacobson on charges of sex trafficking and engaging in interstate prostitution. Powerful individuals for too long have trafficked and abused for their own sexual pleasure young people with few resources and a dream of securing a successful career in fashion or entertainment. The defendants would fly the selected men to Jeffries and Smith's homes in the Hamptons in New York City or to hotels around the world in such places as England, France, Italy, Morocco, and St. Bart's for the purpose of attending events to engage in commercial sex. But beyond simply hiring men for sex, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson use force, fraud, and coercion to traffic those men for their own sexual gratification.
Oh, hell, you're gonna burn.
For example, as alleged, the defendants employed a referral
Tara, thank you.
system and an interview process that did not inform the men of the details of the sex events before they attended, including the full extent and nature of the sexual activity that would be required of the men at these events.
Oh, Lord have mercy. They said, hey, we're going to fly you out to Europe, but this is going to happen. Man.
They caused the men to believe that attending these sex events could yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise benefit their careers. Smith and Jeffries employed a secret staff to operate these sex events.
Dear God, the Miller, thank you, Tara, thank you so much love.
The staff ensured that the men signed non-disclosure agreements and handed over their personal items, such as their phones, before the start of the events to maintain the secrecy of these events. The defendants
Oh, damn, that sounds familiar.
caused the men to believe that not complying with requests for certain acts, sex acts during the events, could harm their careers. The defendants pressured the men to consume alcohol, Viagra, and muscle
What? Oh, man.
relaxants known as poppers during the sex events.
Known as what?
And they required the presence of staff during the sexual activity and ensured that the men did not leave the sex events until Jeffries and Smith decided that the sessions were over.
Man, you sound crazy as hell. Tara, thank you so much.
Also, as alleged, on more than one occasion, Jeffries and Smith either directed others to inject or
Oh, you about to what? Oh God. Steph Case Files in the house. Hey. Yo, follow Steph Case Files. Give her a little follow action. Y'all pin her.
personally injected men with an erection-induced
Oh Jesus. Erosion. Is that what he said? Erosion type? Something to do with erosion.
substance for the purpose of causing the men to engage in sex acts the men were incapable of engaging in or unwilling to engage in. Additionally, the indictment alleges on more than one occasion when men did not or could not consent, Jeffries and Smith violated the bodily integrity of these men.
Dear God.
By subjecting them or continuing to subject them to invasive sexual
you gonna burn in hell for all that.
And violent contact by
they ain't got an injection that'll get you to heaven, you sick son of a biscuit.
Body parts and other objects.
Oh no, not other objects.
You what?
Give me a break.
As alleged in the indictment, Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson didn't just carry this activity on for a couple of occasions. Their sex trafficking and prostitution enterprise lasted at least from the end of 2008 until early 2015.
Dear God.
During that period, the defendants hired dozens of men and transported them to New York and around the globe. They spent millions of dollars on a massive infrastructure to support this operation and maintain its secrecy.
Now, I can't get into all of the details that are in this indictment, but they are terrible, you guys. They are absolutely horrific. It says in the indictment, and this is just, you guys, a very PG version for YouTube friendly. So if you're checking this video, YouTube checkers, we're keeping it PG friendly here. But in the indictment,
tell me about it, Christina.
It accuses these men of purposely seeking out straight guys, okay, luring the straight men in, giving them injections and certain substances, and forcing them into male-on-male stuff, high-pressured enemas in order to clean them out, shaving them all.
What the is wrong with these people? Yo, this is Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie.
Kind of horrendous stuff. And
I was having these crazy parties. Talk about man, you crazy as hell for that. What? And ironically, he was full of shit. See what I did there? Let's keep going.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And all three of the men ended up being arrested. I think it took way too long, but they were arrested. Allegedly because of this stuff, because they have not been proven to be guilty just yet. But we're going to get to my opinion at the end if I can keep it inside. Now, Mike and Matthew were arrested in West Palm Beach, Florida, and James ended up being arrested in Wisconsin. Mike ended up posting a $10 million bond and was seen smiling as he walked with his lawyers outside after being released. And by the way, a lot of people had problems with Diddy not being able to get a bond and him being able to get a bond. And they're saying because he's 80 years old, he's not a flight risk,
Not a flight risk. Dude has how many tens of millions of dollars?
Now, James was also released on a $50,000 bond, but Matthew was ordered to stay in custody because he's a dual citizen of the U.S. and the U.K., and he definitely poses as a flight risk. Now, attorney Brad Edwards, who is representing more than a dozen of the alleged victims, has spoken out.
So there's nothing consensual about it. These were aspiring young models who were sought out and promised to be Abercrombie models, essentially. They were all forced to wear Abercrombie clothes to events that were decorated as if it was an Abercrombie store. They were given an interview with the CEO of Abercrombie, that being Mike Jeffries, made to sign NDAs, told that if they ever disclosed this, that bad things would happen to them reputationally, financially, potentially physically. And then they were taken into a room and the most heinous of and abusive crimes committed against them. And this went on for over a decade. The power disparity couldn't have been any bigger. And anyone at that time looking to be in the modeling industry would know that if they said anything about this, their career as an aspiring model would have been over. There was nothing from any of the victims we've talked to, nothing consensual about any aspect of this.
And according to a letter the prosecution filed in court, when witnesses threatened to expose what was going on, Mike and Matthew would allegedly use a security company to surveil and intimidate them into silence. And so far, prosecutors have not claimed that the company's resources or property were used in these alleged schemes. But lawyers for Mike and Matthew and James all deny any wrongdoing by the men. Now, if convicted of these trafficking charges, the defendants each face a maximum sentence of life imprisonment and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years imprisonment. And if convicted of the interstate prostitution charges, the defendants face a maximum sentence of 20 years imprisonment. So what do I think now that we're here? I think, first of all, it took way too long. My first thought, to be honest with y'all, but this is just me with my little tinfoil hat on, is what did these guys do to finally get in trouble? Because you're not going to tell me after all these years nobody came forward ever until now. Somebody did something they weren't supposed to, and they said, well, guess we're going to have to let these charges go through. That's just my personal opinion, but who am I? But nevertheless, absolutely horrifying and disgusting. I mean, all of them. Let's let this be a domino effect. I hope every business person that ever took advantage of people in these ways, I hope they're sweating in their boots. I don't care how many billions of dollars they bring in. I don't care how much they donate to certain political funds. I don't care what they do. I hope they're all sitting at home shaking, going, are we next? And I hope that they are. Because I hope that this is a domino effect and it sets an example that these types of things are unacceptable. And I wanted to bring up the fact, and this is just my own personal view of how I think about things. When I was growing up, being these types of people, this was before the internet. So all we saw was ads, magazines, television, commercials, movies, that type of thing. All we saw was the handfuls of famous people. And it was like every singer that we saw, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Whitney Houston, these were the most amazing singers in the world. And these were the big stars and the entertainers and the people that we looked up to. And these entertainers were fed to us in all the commercials and everywhere that we went when we were younger. And most children dreamed of being on the Mickey Mouse Club or, just different stuff like that. And then now we find out a lot of the things that was going on behind the scenes. Even if you watch the Nickelodeon documentary that was on Netflix, and I can guarantee you, in my personal opinion, that's unprofessional, that ain't even the tip of the iceberg, what was in that documentary.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
That's just what's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure what's underneath the water of that iceberg is a lot more going on than we know about. But as we were younger, we we were almost brainwashed by these images and by these people of wanting to be that. And it left a lot of people vulnerable. It put people in situations where they offered up their children to management teams and left them alone so they could become stars, or music executives. I mean, you just think about the R. Kelly situation, the amount of people that dropped their children off in the recording studio for days with a group of grown men that were smoking, drinking, and doing the things that they were doing so their children could become stars is unbelievable. And it's like in so many of these industries, these things were going on. This man was married at the time, by the way, this Mike Jeffries. He was married to his wife and they had a son together. And he was over here doing this to these men, these young men that had the stars in their eyes. They wanted to be models. It's unbelievable. And then he gets a divorce from his wife and ends up getting with his new partner, and they team up. And allegedly, according to this indictment, they're doing this too and hunting out straight men too on purpose, which doing it, whether they were straight or not, is wrong. But the sickness. So again, my opinion is I hope that anybody that was involved in these types of things, no matter how much money they've been bringing in, I hope they're shaking in their boots right now. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Other than that, hide your kids, hide your husbands, hide your wives, because these people out here are scary.
That is true. They are quite scary. Oh my God. What do y'all think? Let's keep it going. Shall we keep it going? Oh Lord, this one said something about the Roblox unaliver. Mother accused of using Roblox messages to a baby and whole family by setting a fire.
How dare you?
This sounds crazy as hell. Let's see what's going to happen now.
Before we get into today's case, again, I want to talk.
Oh, there's the Roblox right there. Yo, by the way, Christina Randall, that's who we're listening to. She's pinned down in the description. Go subscribe to her channel if you're not already. Christina Randall, she's awesome. Let's keep going.
About the online game Roblox. If you do not know, we're going to briefly go over it. And Roblox is an online game platform and a game system that allows users to program and play games created by themselves or by other users. Did y'all see a while back that it was kind of going viral where Kim Kardashian's son played Roblox and somebody had made a game about her?
It's okay.
It's not okay though. It's not, on Roblox. Sam was on Roblox yesterday. And a thing popped up and he started laughing and I was like, Mommy, look, and it was a picture of my cry face. And it said Kim's new sex tape. When you clicked on it, thank God he can't read yet.
Oh, hell.
So, you can literally create your own games in Roblox of just about anything. And Roblox was released back in 2006, but it did not really blow up until the second half of the 2010s, and especially during the pandemic. That's when it really boomed. Now, Roblox is a free-to-play game, but there are in-game purchases available through a virtual currency called Robux. And I am sure some of y'all are very familiar with Robux. You're probably, every time you turn around, you kids, can I get some Robux? Can I get some Robux? All they want in their stockings is Robux, okay? And just briefly, for those of y'all that have
accurate. Speaking of which,
been with me for years over here, y'all have probably heard me tell the story from years ago when my son was about 5 or 6 years old and he had that game. He no longer plays that game or has that game. And I had no idea that there was a chat system in it because, it was very new, especially to us back then. And I looked down at his tablet and saw somebody, which I can only believe it to be an adult, and I believed it was an adult male, was trying to get my son to send him photos, certain photos, through the chat system.
Yeah.
And my son's standing there brushing his teeth and he responds to him, I'm not sending you pictures of my whatever. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I didn't know there was a chat part in that game until I found out that way. And if you guys want to know, yes, I called the police. Yes, I reported it. Yes, I turned over his tablet and all of that stuff. But anyways, according to Roblox, While their filtration system censors and removes what they consider to be like the most inappropriate messages and content, it is still possible to avoid the filtration system. Very easy. I saw it happen myself. It's the way that they word things. Now, but to combat that, Roblox says that they have a team that's completely dedicated to removing inappropriate content from their platform. They say that they even offer like privacy settings that allows parents to limit what a user can actually contact. But as we all know, though, nothing is perfect. A mother named Allie Whitworth posted a TikTok video earlier this year claiming that she found inappropriate messages on her daughter's Roblox account. She said that she found a message sent through a private server from an older user that was basically threatening her daughter to respond in certain ways, or this older person said that they would come and find her. Now, as Allie continued,
oh my God, what the hell is wrong with people?
Digging into what happened to her daughter, she says that she noticed the older user's most accessed game was actually a chat room that was rated for all ages. So Allie went into that chat room to see what would happen. When she did go into that chat room, Allie says within 15 seconds, an inappropriate message was sent. Allie claimed that she had as many security settings activated as she could, but somehow this inappropriate stuff was still slipping through. And we're going to get into
hell no.
Some other things today, but if y'all have watched my videos, y'all know I am very passionate about our younger community using the internet, these games, even the games that they play on these certain systems that are all Wi-Fi now. But that's another video, okay? So this brings us to today's topic. Let's talk about Tara Alexis Sykes. 36-year-old Tara was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, but has recently been living in Pensacola, Florida. Now, from what I could find of Tara online was a bunch of photos. I mean, there's photos of her, like you can see here, holding up this award and smiling and looking like probably anybody that you would run into at a school, you know, a school function, a field day. Maybe you would go into the DMV and sit next to, just like a very everyday type of smile or person. However, Tara was arrested on October 18th of this year, 2024, after she allegedly instructed a 10-year-old girl via Roblox, the Roblox chat system, on how to end the life of a 2-month-old and the adults that they were living with. According to the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, the Gulf Coast Kids House, which is like this children's advocacy center, called the investigators after the 2-month-old infant got a skull fracture after being dropped onto a hard kitchen floor by this 10-year-old. Now, according to DCF, they received a hotline tip.
What the hell is going on
September 26th for inadequate supervision of the 2-month-old after he, and from me reading the police reports, which a lot of it is redacted, it seems like the 2-month-old is a he. So after he received skull fractures. Now, they passed this tip on to the sheriff's office, who began an investigation. According to the tip, the 2-month-old had become like fussy, like a lot of 2-month-olds are when they're hungry or they need to be changed or their tummy hurts. But in this tip, when this 2-month-old became fussy, the 10-year-old went over and picked him up and accidentally dropped him on the kitchen floor. The 2-month-old was taken into the hospital and treated. So as the investigator began to really look into what exactly happened, this is when he found out that Tara Sykes had been communicating with this 10-year-old through the Roblox chat. In the chat, allegedly, Tara not only told this 10-year-old to drop the 2-month-old onto the floor, but she also told the 10-year-old to drown and burn the 2-month-old. And by the way, this is a good spot to let y'all know this is all alleged. I pulled all of my information.
What the hell is wrong with these people?
from public sources that are already out there. I read through the arrest affidavits and all of that, and I'm putting it together the best that I can. Go do your own research, form your own opinions. I don't know these people, but it seems like the 10-year-old and the 2-year-old were staying with these temporary guardians, and that they could have been like family members versus like a foster home. So allegedly, Tara was telling the 10-year-old through the Roblox chat that she, the 10-year-old, needed to end the lives of the guardians while they were asleep. Allegedly, Tara
My Lord
told the 10-year-old how to like burn down the home, and told her to go and douse the bed sheets with aerosol spray and then place these sheets all around the house and then to set them on fire. Oh yeah, all of this communication going on through this video game chat allegedly. Now, in an interview, the 10-year-old said that she doused the sheets just as like Tara told her to, but that she was not able to actually light the lighter to set them on fire. She was going to do what she was being told to do. The 10-year-old also said that she was absolutely terrified of Tara and felt that if she did not follow through with Tara's instructions, she was afraid that Tara would come and find her and end her. Now, Tara was charged with 3 counts of first-degree premeditated attempted murder.
Damn, you going to jail for life.
And 1 count of cruelty towards a little one. After her arrest, the sheriff said that he was truly disturbed and that in all of his years in law enforcement, he had never seen anything quite like this. Now, of course, the investigators reached out to Roblox, and they said that they have discovered no evidence of any instructions of violence in connection with Tara Sykes or the 10-year-old. Their official statement says that we have completed our internal investigation and looked at activity on our platform by the 2 usernames that were provided by law enforcement, said Eric Porterfield, Senior Director of Roblox Policy Communications. Now, while they did communicate on Roblox, the conversations on our platform were in policy and did not contain the alleged instructions for violence that resulted in the arrest of Tara Alexis Sykes. However, according to a spokesperson for the sheriff's office, they say that by the time DCF had reached out to them, the alleged messages had already been deleted. But they do have 3 credible witnesses that gave statements under oath as to actually seeing those messages themselves. These witnesses' names are redacted in the report, but these reports indicate they are the 2 temporary guardians in the home and their adult daughter. So the 2 temporary guardians and the adult daughter all said that they saw these messages with their own eyes. I'm curious who deleted them, if it was the 10-year-old. The adult daughter told the investigators that she found a screenshot of the messages between Tara and the 10-year-old, and she also found these doused bed sheets in the bedroom. Then the sheriff's office,
that is creepy as hell,
says that they have the electronic devices and that they're looking into trying to retrieve the deleted messages. They said that they're also in contact with Roblox trying to get copies of the messages as well. However, Roblox said that the company complies with all laws regarding to the retention of chat logs, including deleted messages, by retaining all chat history for 2 years. They still say that their investigation included any deleted messages. So basically what Roblox is saying is
it was probably Discord then.
These messages never took place, which
you probably saw her on Roblox and then moved it to a Discord server.
Would be so frustrating if I was the person that was taking care, was the caregiver, the guardians of the 10-month-old and the 2-year-old, and my house was just doused with all this stuff, and I saw the messages, and somehow the messages got deleted, and then now Roblox is saying, oh, we checked our system, it never happened, because that could contribute to Tara getting out, and it could allegedly really benefit Roblox for them to say that those messages never happened. Because if you really think about it, if Roblox is supposed to be complying with all of these like laws with you got to keep messages even if they're deleted or not for at least 2 years, because this is a game that is targeted to bring in underage people, which therefore leaves them vulnerable for overage people, right? Predators don't always go to the parks anymore. Now they go to your children's video games so they can talk to them there in private, and they don't have to worry about if anybody's going to catch them because they're in their basements doing like this, talking to our youth. But it benefits Roblox for these messages to not exist, especially knowing that there was a 2-month-old with a skull fracture and somebody's house almost got burnt down. But I don't know. I didn't see the messages. However, the 10-year-old even admitted to what happened when she was spoken to by these investigators. So hopefully, if that's true, and we have to say alleged because Tara has not been.
Can you imagine? Dear Lord. By the way, YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. TikTok, hit that follow button for me. If you're new here, my name's Patrick. If you like true crime, we're live every single night. So take a second, hit the little follow button. Thanks for the donuts, y'all. Let's get 111 of them. Let's keep going.
Been found guilty yet. If it's true, hopefully with everybody testifying against her, justice will be served. Now, Tara is being held in the county jail.
What the hell's wrong with her? Oh, never
no
mind.
bond, and her
hand looked crazy as hell right there.
Hearing is on November 8th. Now, I'm going to include some maybes here because of the age of the two that we just spoke about, a lot of stuff is redacted. Allegedly. Okay, we're going to say a lot of allegedlys here. And I don't like to do a lot of rumors, but I've read a lot of stuff, and the stuff that I've read in some arrest affidavits leads me to believe there could be truth to this. So take it for what you will. Allegedly, the 10-year-old was Tara's daughter, okay, that had allegedly been taken from her. And the 2-month-old was her new grandchild. Why would somebody do something like this? I don't know. But what we do know is that
because they're sick. The world's full of crazy ass people do disgusting things.
There was an arrest affidavit,
sadly,
from May of this year, 2024, where the police was called, or DCF was called by an anonymous caller that said that there was a 14-year-old that lived with Tara and her husband. Okay, it was their 14-year-old daughter, and that the 14-year-old was pregnant by a 20-year-old that was living in the home allowed by Tara and her husband. Okay, you get it? 14-year-old pregnant in May. She was 33 weeks then, according to the paperwork. And then the 2-month-old, connect the dots on your own if you think there's any dots to be connected there. So they were arrested, Tara and her husband. Here's their mugshots right here. They were arrested for neglect and some other stuff. When the investigators started to investigate more into this is when they found out that
that dude is crazy as hell looking.
Allegedly, Tara and her husband had been going over to baby daddy, adult, whatever, the 20-year-old that was living there, being allowed to by the parents, going over to his grandma's house and extorting them for money, saying, if you don't give us money, we are going to turn your grandson in for getting her pregnant. And they ended up getting over $10,000 out of this lady. And she's just forking out money because Tara and her husband is going over there telling the grandma that not only are they going to turn him in, but they're also going to end his life. So I don't know who these people think that they are. They're just out here running all this kinds of stuff, allegedly. And then when the minors are removed from the home and put into the home of guardians, allegedly Tara's communicating with the 10-year-old through Roblox, saying, hey, do this, this, and this. I mean, it's hard to wrap your mind around what these people had going on. What kind of evil? At first I was looking, and this is what I'm going to get into my opinion. At first I'm looking at her photos. I'm looking at the videos of her. I'm looking at her and her husband. I'm thinking, was it drugs? Or were they into that stuff, that real strong stuff, that they needed all this money and they're like, who in their mind thinks and does any of the stuff that they've been doing? But at this point, it doesn't matter. Justice needs to be served because
amen.
So many people have been affected by the actions of these people. If these accusations of them are true, I got to keep saying that. And when you think about the 2-month-old that was dropped on that kitchen floor, the reports are saying that he is going to survive. But when you have a skull fracture like that, on a little one,
Shauna,
You
thank
have
you. Leah, thank you.
no idea of the long-term effects. You have no idea if by the time he's in second grade, he's having memory issues or certain things that he won't even know is attributed to being dropped on a kitchen hard floor so hard that just you, if any of y'all have ever had a 2-month-old, you know how fragile and precious. It's just unbelievable. So she's in jail with no bond. Roblox is denying the messages even happened. And now we got a whole bunch of little ones that's been through too much already.
Oh my God, that is crazy as hell. I'm gonna see what happens to her. We're gonna follow that trial for sure. She's gonna be, man, you're gonna burn in hell if that's true. Insane. All right, YouTube, I love you guys. I'm out of here. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out. Go watch some ghost hunting stuff. It's gonna kick you over to the haunted side on YouTube. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye.